Minutes today and talk about compliance. We are starting our Navigation to Compliance series November 1st in the Leaders in Senior Care Facebook group, which is a group that I got together to try and help support leaders in any senior care setting. So it could be home health, could be private duty, hospice, assisted living, long-term care. Those are all senior care avenues. And with the challenges that come with senior care, it's something needed to have community and support where you can ask questions and get resources and really have a community where we can build each other up and encourage each other and support each other. So if you're not in that group, come on over, Leaders in Senior Care, and that's where the navigation series, the Navigation to Compliance series will be for the next 8 weeks, starting November 1st. So I wanted to come on today and just talk about what is compliance and why it's important. And throughout the next week and a half before the series starts, I'll try and come on and talk a little bit about compliance and how that impacts senior care and our businesses and our leadership. So compliance really touches everything. And that's part of the reason for doing this series is to highlight the benefits of managing your compliance well. Because when you do that, then you can focus on what really matters, which is your staff and your patients and their care and the quality of services you provide. And really, you can't do that without being in compliance. It seems like compliance can take up 5 out of 8 hours of the day. And then we have leaders who are trying to, you know, stay over and work 12 hours a day because they're like, I have to work on this. I have to spend time on this. I have to do these things. But the problem is that, when you save those things up until survey, then that's all you're trying to do. And you can't pay attention to the other things that matter. So compliance ends up affecting your priorities when you want them to be something different. So that's why we're going to focus so much on compliance for the next 8 weeks. We're going to talk about how to implement high-level strategies to help you stay compliant all the time so that it's not a emergency situation when you realize surveys are on the corner, or when you have a complaint survey, or when you have a reportable incident occur. So we're going to focus on those things. Compliance is basically being in accordance with the regulatory standards for whatever your industry is. They're a little different for each area. So right now I was working with the hospice. They were changing accrediting bodies. So that's something we'll talk more about, is who accredits which industry and which area and why become accredited. So those are some different topics we'll talk about before that Navigating to Compliance series starts. So I'm excited about that. But compliance is basically being in line with the industry standards for providing excellent care. And there are many reasons to become accredited. We'll talk about those some more, but being accredited helps you become compliant with those standards. And there's different areas to compliance. There's corporate compliance, which is more about fraud and waste for Medicare. And then there's risk and litigation. So compliance as in getting sued. And then there's also regulatory compliance. So whoever your regulating bodies are and what standards they hold you to. So we're going to talk about all those areas over the next 8 weeks. But it can be very challenging to try to meet all of those standards. So I'm going to help you guys do that. I would love to hear from you, hear how you currently feel about compliance, how you're doing with compliance, how it impacts what you do. And of course, prepare any questions you might have for the compliance series that's coming up. I can't wait to do that with you guys, and hopefully that will help you have a better understanding of how to become compliant in all areas, and also how to prioritize that compliance so that it doesn't overtake everything that you do, so that you can spend the time you want to spend with your patients and with your staff. And, you know, once you get into a place where you know what needs to be done to maintain compliance, you can focus on other goals and initiatives and priorities, whether that be on a corporate level coming down from your corporate leadership guidance as far as what the initiatives are, or whether you're a entity in yourself and you have an agency and you want to develop goals and initiatives yourself. So hopefully we will get to accomplish all of those things over the next 8 weeks. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. And look for the next couple live videos on who the accrediting bodies are for your agency and why to become accredited. So we'll talk about those soon. Thanks.